capstone is your grand finale.
Okay.
So the people always say, what is a capstone project? The capstone projects have two meanings. So no, just turn it on. It has, you know what's a capstone in a real term in what literally means? And you build a bridge or you build some kind of arc. You build it, and you put it on this side. So there's all stones, right? This is some kind of block. And to finalize the whole structure, you need to put the last piece. So that piece consolidates the whole experience or the whole structure. That's called a capstone. The capstone is a name used by many programs to symbolize the final piece of work that culminate your learning. So that's a capstone. So keep that in mind. That's a capstone. So in terms of, I think all of you are MBA students, right? So in terms of your capstone, you can do one of the three different things. The first one, well, let me give you the 10 years from now, you might not remember any of the classes, but you remember the capstone. You should have some kind of intensive experience. So the capstone is something between you being a student and you being a master of business administration. So that's the last piece. So think about what is that one project will symbolize you are a master of business administration. Depends on what you want to do, right? The typical one is a business plan. And that business plan has to be more refined, more presentable, more realistic than your class project. You can develop on top of your class project, but the idea is that you will present your business plan to a venture capitalist. He probably won't fund you, right? Because you're still a student. But he will say, that sounds good. So you have a credible business presentation a presentation of your business plan that a institutional, professional investor will look at it and say, that's a possibility. Okay. So how do I know that's good enough? We are not going to send you to the competition, which after you finish, I will list some of the competition for you to go. They usually charge, some of them don't charge anything, some of them charge like $100. But you will go and you have 15 minutes to present your business idea, and they will tell you you're good or not, or this need to be improved. And you go home and cry. Then fix whatever, then you go to the next one. Okay. Then sometimes if you're good, the first one is good enough, right? Then you go to a few of these events. Then you go to the VC conference. Okay. You need to apply. You will say, I won this business competition already, and they will invite you to go. Some of them have, when you apply, they take everyone because you pay $50, they give you 2 minutes. There are probably 10 of them every month in the Silicon Valley. You go, and there are 50 people. 49 of them are nobody. They just want to be there to have beers. But there's one or two in the back. They look just a typical person, okay? But they have $2 billion in their pocket. They are there to shop. They say, well, I think Linda's idea, that might worth something. So what happened after that, you talk 2 minutes, right? Then he will say, this is my business card. Call me, I would like to invite you to present. Then if you look at the address, it's Sand Hill Road. Then you got the first step. They will invite you to come. It's not like this room. They may have a little bit better projector, but it's about 5, 10 people listen to you up to 20 minutes. Sometimes after 5 minutes they will say thank you so much, and that's it. But after about 15 minutes, that might be real. Then they will start asking you for your company information, your background, more detail. They might have the lawyer or accountant call you. They will ask you, do you have a lawyer to work with them? If you don't, they will be very happy. they will assign to you, and they will start to talk to you. Say, okay, I can give you, if you are start from nothing, they will give you a seed money, say $500,000, just for you to get an office, get the first programmer or get the first engineer to work. If you already have a prototype, they might give you $5 million to build a prototype into a commercializable product. If you already have small but successful business income, they might give you the real money. The real money these days is about $10 to $20 million, because they want to grow your company in 2 to 3 years. They give you $20 million and they will take $200 million when you go IPO. So that's the process. That's the process. And there are examples that a MBA business plan is accepted and go all the way. The typical book, on all the entrepreneur book, there's always cited one example. Anyone knows what's that example? It's FedEx. So FedEx, Federal Express, that was done in the early 80s. So this is by a student, I think, in Penn State. And his MBA capstone is a business plan saying, this is United States. And currently, there's a distribution center everywhere. If you want to send something to New York, you will fly from San Francisco and put in New York, then you will send the truck to all places, right? But then you have to send it to there's many different flights. So he said, you should do this. You have one place in the middle of the United States. Everything sent there, and everything then from there to send out to the other airport. Then you have a very centralized distribution. He calculated will save 50% of the cost. The teacher said, it's a joke. And he actually went on and get the real investment, and he built FedEx from a student project. And there are many cases like that. Okay, so there is a chance, although it's a small chance, right out of MBA program, there's a chance that you can read. So the first one is a business plan. So the final deliverable is simple, right? It has to be, because you are in CALMAT, so it cannot be a business plan to do an ice cream bar. Or it has to do something you can leverage upon this place. Something to do with Silicon Valley, technology, and innovation. Want to tell us that. Okay. For example, if you want to do a real estate, you have to think about, how is real estate going to be incorporated, commercial real estate in Silicon Valley, or how are you going to infuse the web technology, the cloud technology, the mobile technology into your operation to make your business more stronger than the other one. Okay. So all kind of business probably can have this component: Silicon Valley, innovation, and technology. Okay. And that's the trademark of the CALMAT degree, right? If you can do a Mexican restaurant, that's okay, but you're not taking advantage of the training course. So most people will do this. This is a presentable to VC level. It's pretty simple. It's the business plan. If you have more than 20 pages, people don't read it. So only 20 pages. And you have to have a presentation that's probably 10 to 15 minutes. That's well rehearsed. Doesn't have to be fancy. No flying text or background, animation noise, but pretty clean, to the point. Say, this is my idea. Why this idea will fly? This is how much money I need to raise. This is why you should fund this. Something like that. So at the end of the presentation, people say, I might want to invest. Okay. So the presentation. So 20 pages, 20 different presentations. And it's not required, but I will recommend you, after you finish this, I will send a few links for you to go to the competition. I will be on the judge in Chico next Thursday. Okay, they have 40 business plan. I'm going to judge the IT and web services. So I usually do maybe 2 or 3 judges in a year, and I have limited time. We don't pay. And the judge usually is, they only pay for the hotel and you don't get $2,000 per hour. So I think that would be a good experience just to go and listen to those either academic like me or actual investor. They will tell you this won't fly. You have to take it. Sometimes they are wrong. Remember even a company that eventually get $5-10 million, they probably present to 5 different VC. The first 4 was laugh at them, say no, this won't work. But you only take one, right? Take one. So don't get discouraged. So that I would say about 70% of the CalMat MBA students do a business plan. But some people say, wait, I don't want to start a business. I want to work for my current company, but I want to advance in my current company. Then you do a case study or strategic analysis. Let's do this. So if you plan to stay in your own company, you want to be a CEO of the company. What does CEO do? You asked that question, right? CEO, the top level of CEOs do 3 things only. Only 3 things.
The company's revenue.
That's good. That's good.
Right, and also make sure they looks forward.
CEO.
Yeah, the CEO do 3 things. Only 3 things. If he does more than that, he's not doing his job.
CEO.
That's good. So the first one is make sure there is a clear vision and communicate that vision. I wrote an article in a newspaper 6 months ago, so I think this makes sense. The second one is hire the right people. The third one is make sure there's enough cash in the bank. Not about revenue, not about financial strategy. So at the end of the day, is you have enough cash in the bank for sustain your business. How do you do that? There's all kind of strategies, right? But you are not going to do this. So you don't have to. So I just want you to know that the CEO really should focus on these 3 things. If they do more than this, then the question is that maybe he's not doing enough in these 3. But let's okay. So below CEO, the CEO of course need to decide major strategy. Do you want to produce a mobile phone or a medical device? Do you want to go into the China market or Greece? Do you want to establish your headquarters in the central United States or in Cayman Island? Those are major things will break or sink or sell a company, right? The problem is that there is no formula. There's no, if you add out your 10% of the cash plus 20% of the market risk and reach a conclusion, there's no such easy solution. So that often let's say you are going to let's say you're working for Microsoft, right? So do you want to produce an operating system that is both for the tablet and the laptop, or you want to produce 2? That is one strategic analysis you can do, okay? So you are going to write the analysis, analyze a company, hopefully your own company, and produce that, again, about 20-page documentation to the CEO. The CEO will probably talk to the board and say, okay, according to this strategic analysis, we should sell the company and go home. It could be, or we should choose this product, or we should choose that market, or we should choose this company to acquire. So find one major area that you're familiar with and write a strategic analysis paper that going to make a major change in your company. Okay. So it's a strategic, so it's wide open. It could be acquire a company, it could be sell a product, it could be explore a market, it could be stop a particular product, it could be um, separate a company into different entity. It could go IPO. It could go for private. So you have to very quickly look at what is the major challenge facing the company or major opportunity. So strategic analysis, I don't know if you have taken that class. I think, you know, by Mike, right?
Yeah, Mike.
Strategic
So they
marketing.
typically start with, right, the
SWOT.
analysis, then you go through, and at the end, recommend a strategy, have a set of goals and kind of milestone. So that's the second type. So if you want to make the CEO really happy, and one day you become a CEO, that is your capstone. Okay, as we analyze what's going on with your company, recommend a major strategic change. Not just say we should recycle all our paper. That's okay, but it's not strategic. It's just reduce the cost. So that's the second one. Okay, so the case study usually is another company, not your own company. This case study, you can analyze the whole industry. For example, you can say the cloud computing industry in the US is going toward this direction, and you recommend any company adopt cloud computing for these reasons. Okay, so this is the case study is more of a kind of a publishable. Opinion. Okay. And if you write it well, I will help you to get published. This is usually published in a trade magazine. Right? If you receive those free magazines, there's a two-page say, cloud computing is going to take over the world. This is the reason. That's a case study. Okay. The last one, very few people take it, although you want to think about it, is a fundamental research. Meaning you find a problem, you design a research, and conduct the research, collect the data, and prove that if you sleep only 3 hours a day, you will make 20% more, or not. Or a famous, not famous, a good research I have done about 10 years ago with a master's student. We analyzed the defense industry in their data center. We say what is the most effective tool to retain employees? Remember 10 years ago, 12 years ago now, is a dot-com booming. So many technology people are leaving government to go for the private sector. So Defense Department are really worried that they are losing about 10% of their employees every month during that couple of years. So they have keep hiring. So they get our graduate students do analysis, say, what is the most effective way to keep these people? Okay? The end result is not the dollars, it's the opportunity to do new things and new projects. Anyway, so that's a research. Okay? Or we can do, so the research is, one word for it is research. This is publishable in a journal. So my last, this is computer science, my last computer science paper that's widely quoted is it's actually simple research. They compare two famous learning management systems. One is Moodle. The other one is called Blackboard. Okay. So the Moodle versus Blackboard. The Moodle is open source. The Blackboard is a $100 million venture-backed company. And we do the user analysis. We get a lot of students to try different things and find out which one user has better experience. And we document it. And so at the end, Moodle win. So we modified Moodle a little bit. Now it's called Euler. So our Euler is based on, the reason we choose Euler is based on that paper was done 2007. And not only we do it, the San Jose State, the Sonoma State, and San Francisco State all changed their practice from Blackboard to Moodle-based system because of that paper. So that's a good paper. So that's the fundamental research. But if you want to pursue your as a researcher, or want to pursue a doctor program, then you want to do it. So the student did that paper with me. He got a full scholarship going to UC Riverside to continue to do the user experience in learning system. But he quit after 3 years. He got a better job. And I'm happy. Yeah, much better. I was not very happy, but it's okay. I'm still happy he got a good job. So most people do a business plan, but hopefully that you have intention to start a business. Okay? And many people do a strategic analysis for your own company because you don't want to leave your company. You want to continue in your company, but you want to kind of recommend a new strategy to your company. So I would say this one is probably 70% of CalMat graduate, this one maybe 20%, and occasionally we have people do this. Okay. So that's kind of introduction to the capstone. Let me speak a couple minutes about the process, then I will tell you to let me know your idea. Okay. So there are 3 steps of your capstone. Within a week, you need to either email me or talk to me. What is your domain? Domain meaning what type of business, what type of capstone you want to do? Is it a business plan or something else? And what is your general idea? Okay. Then you have 2 to 3 weeks to write a proposal. Proposal is about 5 pages. Say, I'm going to do a business plan because of these reasons, and these are the step-by-step process I'm going to do my business plan. On Monday next week, I'm going to go to the library and search for the market information. The 2 weeks from now, I'm going to interview a potential client to see how he likes my product. And 3 weeks from now, I'm going to listen to so you give me the time frame how you're going to do this. Because capstone is very individual. So you will propose your timeline to me, and I will monitor, I will make sure you follow the timeline. Okay. So first step, next week you need to decide a general direction. The second step, you have 2 weeks to do that. You have to write a 5-page proposal. Then the final step, which is August 15th, you will have these 3 things, right? You have you have about a 20-page, either a business plan or some kind of a strategic analysis report or research paper. And you present a 10 to 15 minutes of presentation. So that's related to your capstone. The final piece is your ILP portfolio. It's a CD-ROM or a DVD that contains at least 1 document in each of your class taken in CalMat. So someone said 5 years from now, go to our record, say, Linda, how could she get a degree from you? Well, we say, well, she got a good grade, right? Then what grade doesn't mean anything. What have she actually learned? Then we'll bring up your CD-ROM and say, we go to your accounting class. You might have a research paper, or you might have a final exam, or you have some kind of report. People look at that, maybe just a few pages. You look at that, oh, yeah, Linda knows accounting. So that's the evidence of your learning in CalMat. So that CD-ROM, the simplest form will be 12 documents, each one identified with a class you have taken, and that's the evidence. If you miss 1 or 2, that's okay. If you miss the majority of them, then
we need to list every class that we've taken.
That's right.
And then we don't need to put the time frame, right?
No, you don't.
Okay, and then we need to summarize or
You can do summarize, but there should be some document that people read that document can clearly convinced that you learn the necessary skill and knowledge from the class. And typically it's a final report.
So my
Julie?
my record for the class is all on the blog.
Oh, what?
All on the blog.
That's good. So what you do
Just
is
download
you
the
download
blog,
that and
then
put
put
into
in
the
the
PDF
CD.
and put on the CD. Yeah. The reason why I put it in CD is that we want to keep it for many, many years,
Yeah.
right? If you only leave it on the blog,
Yeah.
then the moment you graduate, you delete them. There's no evidence.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we keep the blog, because not
Yeah.
only we can see it, but you can easily
Yeah.
download
So,
it.
Yeah.
so some of the classes we don't have blogs, right?
That's okay, but you
So
have
what do
some,
you-
it could be a scanned final exam, or a research paper, or the PowerPoint of your presentation, or a recording of the video of your final report.
So, for example, we have taken you online and you learn the finance.
Finance marketing.
No, last class in financial accounting, right? Financial accounting.
Financial accounting.
Yeah, we took the test, the final test on Ulearn. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the final was on the Ulearn with a time. So we don't remember we did on
Yes.
at home, right? But we did it online.
Mhm.
But we did a final presentation. We do have the final presentation.
Yeah, you don't have to have multiple documentation for.
Oh, okay.
you
So we just have to
one.
list like one, just like the portfolio.
That's right.
Portfolio.
That's
Okay.
right.
Just one document for each class, right?
That's right.
Maybe some
One,
more.
if you want to put two, that's fine, but the one will be fine.
Okay.
Of the 12 courses,
Ah.
if you don't have 9, I would be worried. Okay, there are some
I
classes.
I did put on my, I have a disk drive, I have all the classes, the materials that I have. I
That's
do
good.
have that, but
So
we need to
if
do
it's
Can I
portfolio,
put
okay.
my presentation for the class?
Of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
So
okay.
That's minimum already I done. see
Yeah,
is
right.
that
Okay.
CD-ROM have 12 folders, right?
Yeah,
This is, say, business 600, and in there is a PDF of your blog. And that's it. Okay? And the very last one is this class, right? You have, in there, you have your PowerPoint for your presentation, you have the 20-page of the business plan of final report, and we will record your final presentation, we'll put it on that. That's why DVD might work better, because it has more space. And that is your portfolio. Okay. So August 25th, I'm looking for 3 things. Your paper, either a business plan or your case study or your research. You actually will be here to present. Okay, I'm going to buy people lunch so other people might come. It's an open presentation. It might be just 6 of us, but you might have 600. Might have a few other people. So make sure if you have a secret, if you're going to talk about your company's best CEO, you don't want to say the name or the company. You just say my company, okay? Because the requirement is a public presentation. So any private information you can let me know, but you don't want to present it. And I think you're safe. Okay, so 3 things: portfolio, presentation, and paper, and you're going to finish the capstone.
I have to find the portfolio.
You don't have much time, so
Yeah.
often people spend 5 weeks just decide what to do. Okay, in the end, although we like the project to be real, I mean, could be implemented in the future, but in the end, the major reason we are doing this is to graduate.
No, to learn.
So you want to do something that hopefully it has real impact in your life, but
Yes.
minimally, you want to get it done so you can graduate.
Is there any due on August 15? Or are you talking about 25th only?
August 25th is the time we do presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are, I will put it on the Ulearn, there are different deadlines. For example, a concept paper,
Yeah,
1
okay.
page, I think is in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just 1 page, what do I want to do, basically.
Yeah,
Then your
that's
proposal in
proposal.
another 2 weeks. Then I think the draft of your ILP and your paper is due a week before the final presentation. Then everything is due on the August 25th.
I have another question on the portfolio. some of the blogs it was done in ULearn, right? Since we're not taking the classes anymore, we don't see it. How do we have access?
You send an email to me then. I will tell them all our classes are kept on ULearn for 5 years.
Okay.
But you don't see it. We can turn it back on for a period of time. You can download whatever you want
Yeah,
to download.
that's what I'm saying. You know,
Then
that
we will
would
close
be
it.
helpful, right? Because, for example, we have taken 2 of your classes,
Mhm.
and the blogs you wanted us to go ULearn to do the blogs.
That's right, that's
right?
right, that's right.
And I mean, now whatever classes you're taking, you don't see the previous or the others.
If you can send an email, tell me which class and what semester, I can open it up for a few days. They can
Okay,
download it. and
download it,
close
right?
Okay.
Okay.
Or if you keep your own, we try to keep everything on the Blogger now, right? So most of your blog is outside of the ULearn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, or you can give us a link, we can go there and grab it down, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, because I remember now, if you're talking about the blog, I remember,
I thought that most of the blog is done outside of ULearn. Although ULearn, you have a link,
I think
but
so.
the text is all on the internet.
I believe one of your classes, we did the
In the blog,
blogs,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. So you run the expectation